welcome to the HomeBhoys.
Listen, you two idiots are rattling. Come on!
We're alive!
Sky TV done for us. What has it done for us? Is it give us a better product for their ladies?
We've been joined by a listener.
But they're maybe not tuning into shows like us to get informed. An informed opinion of what's really going on.
And it does me favours when the main pundits are people like Traynor and Chip Young, Keith Jackson, and all that, who are all driven by an agenda.
I've got a bad feeling about this, I've got a bad feeling about this. So I just reckon these people actually believe anything these monkeys tell them. You know, it's a sad reflection on society.
So, let's get down to business. Hello and welcome to the HomeBhoys live hangover show here from the Hunting Lodge in West Belfast. We have a live studio audience of 5 with a back turned to us.
Pretending they're not listening.
Pretending they're not listening. They're acting cool. We have, of course, here in the flesh, the one and only Jason Higgins.
Hail, comrades.
And in the flesh, unfortunately, the one and only David Harper.
I mean, unfortunately.
I see you all the time, though.
I know.
We're here drinking Guinness at 10 to 9, 1 o'clock. And we've all got heavy heads, have we?
Right, very heavy.
And I don't know.
Normally, eyes are killing me for the vomiting last night.
Harper vomited his eyes out last night.
It kept me awake with snoring. That sounds very gay, I'm sorry, but that's not what it meant to sound like. Sorry, I'm getting wind here. Right, normally we do this with a structured, like, we'll talk about this, talk about that. This morning, this afternoon, that's not the case. We're just going to be pretty talking shit.
We've got a very special guest lined up.
Yes, got a very special
Sam.
guest. Sam's got a new Celtic jersey on. We're going to bring him in
To describe his new top.
We're going to bring him down the catwalk. So, alright, we're here. We're going to watch the Celtic match in the Falcons very soon. So, if you're around, we never do that. We're never actually out doing the show. So, we never actually say, if you're out and about, come and meet us.
Of course, we should
Not that
mention
anybody wants to.
We should mention what a man done.
No.
Are we?
Oh, we are a man there.
Are we?
We're missing Paul Largan. Sorry.
Paul, if you're listening, good phone in.
Skype's on. Call in
Skype's
Skype. HomeBhoys. We're sitting here. One of you boys farted.
Me.
That's ridiculous, man. Jesus Christ. You couldn't get up and walked away,
You
no?
don't usually get that off Skype.
No.
Honesty is the best policy.
Next week's going to be scratch and sniff. HomeBhoys. We're sitting here watching the Chelsea and Arsenal match. And Sergio Bob was on the ball. But we're going to talk about. I only seen the highlights of the Celtic Dundee match. We haven't talked about Benfica. Start with Benfica, go to Dundee, and then we'll get our opinion on Race Rovers, right?
Perfect.
Right. You're at Benfica?
Aye.
Right. So, the atmosphere, even the Benfica players look like they're like, what's this? What's this? They can see the looks on their faces.
Aye.
When the music was playing. You just
It
couldn't believe it, like.
And their support for being one of the biggest football clubs in the world, their support was a disgrace. They'd have about 100 fans there if you're lucky, the front of the main stand. And we'll take about 10,000 over there and we play the return game in November.
But is Portuguese football that big? Like?
I reckon because a lot of Portuguese have emigrated all over the world. You know, there's Portuguese communities everywhere. The Brazilian thing as well. I think Benfica's, plus their history as well. They're one of the biggest clubs in Europe, without a shadow of a doubt. You know, to me, they're the biggest club in Portugal, and they've got fans all over the world. And you just think they came to Celtic Park and they'd like 100, 200 fans at the most. And you're like, that's just no good enough. But economic climate and everything, fair play. You know, what do you do? And I just think they're not like us. You know, being a Celtic fan, it's like an absolute part of your life that you have to go and follow them wherever they play.
It's one of those channels in your life you just never get away from. Nor do you want to. You know?
I know. I just think it's not. You watch La Liga on the TV, and my club that's close to my heart, Athletic Club. They'll take fans wherever they play. But you look at Barcelona. Barcelona play away to Getafe or something. Barcelona have 100 fans there.
The Spanish fans don't really travel, do they? I don't know.
Nah, but the Basque fans do.
Once he gets his wee digs in Barcelona.
Yeah, I knew it was coming at some point.
And it's Catalonia or whatever. You know, you're right. Fans of La Liga football clubs, they don't travel. But when you got Athletic Club, they'll travel. You know, they've got fans. We were at Manchester last year watching the 10,000 fans there to play Man United. You know, and it's like a religion to the guys as well. And I think Celtic tells us a bit of religion. You know,
Benfica's not La Liga.
No, but I'm talking about Iberian Peninsula.
What?
The Iberian Peninsula.
Iberian Peninsula?
Yeah.
They were brilliant.
Take that Guinness off him.
Right, so but see when something like that happens in Celtic Park when this crowd is that intense. Do you ever look over at the away fans and just think, what are they thinking right now?
Aye, and that's what I thought loads of times. That there's like 150, 200 and whatever. They must have been looking at it saying, what the f*** is going on there? You know, this is just... You look at that Green Brigade as well. The Green Brigade, they guys are obviously phenomenal. But that night, with the full crowd was getting behind the team, you know, the atmosphere was electric. It probably didn't live up to expectations as European atmospheres go, but the fact that the game is 0-0, you know, that dictates that.
See what, I don't know, you Joe, right, watching on television, and I've spoken about this on the Australian show we done last week. The atmosphere wasn't coming through great sound-wise on the television. It was like they turned the mics down for the crowd.
It
was like they really muted the noise.
You can hear the music.
Because when you're hearing people talking at half time on Twitter, right, seeing it and that, the atmosphere's amazing at the game and that.
Thank you very much, thank you.
The atmosphere's amazing and that, but it wasn't coming through the television. And it was like they were turning the volume down so you could hear David Proven talking shite. And that's something we need to talk about. I don't know if you've watched the rerun.
I didn't watch the rerun, mate.
Proven, man. See if you watch an English team in Europe, the commentators, right? They like to bum the team.
They sell the product.
Sell the product. They're doing it all the time.
I think in Scottish football, it's a general thing that we don't sell our product. You know, we've got guys working in the media who are working to the benefit, seemingly, of Scottish football, but they constantly sell it down the river.
Right.
All that comes from the top. There's a financial hierarchy involved, and if you get in the way of that, you're not going to get a job.
Aye, you know what I mean? And it's actually sickening that obviously when the ex-Huns died, that it was the thing that Armageddon. We're all going to everybody's going to just commit.
I'm still waiting on Bruce Willis to show up.
Aye, exactly. That's exactly it, Joe. But the guys in top of your game, like, they should, to me, if you're leaders, if you know you're leading a team into battle and they're going to fight for their life, you're going to tell them, even if you know they're going to get beat, you're going to tell them they're going to win.
Huh?
You're going to tell them, look, they're going to win.
We've
got guys that lead our sport.
It's not a sport then if you're doing that.
Aye, exactly.
It's not a sport anymore.
Aye.
It's just a situation. You know what I mean? And I think what Scottish football needs to do is be an innovator and an imitator.
Exactly.
I've said that twice this weekend. Right. Yeah. I love that saying.
You like that what you said?
I do, yeah. Somebody told me that. Yeah. That was great. Makes me sound wise.
So coming back to the game then, right?
I never even mentioned the game, didn't know yet. I said to me whether it was Celtic Benfica. I spoke about 100 Benfica fans there with another lad.
Just started talking Athletic Club as you do.
Aye.
What did you... The result... I mean, I've seen a lot of people saying... it was an opportunity lost. It's a home game. We never picked up the full 3 points. What did you think about? Was a point good enough
Superb, thank you.
in that opening game? How we played?
Each is red.
I'll be honest with you, a point wasn't good enough.
I thought we deserved to win.
I actually left the game feeling no too bad. I left the game saying it was a good side, and they drew with them. With 10 laddies that hadn't played in Champions League games before, and they took all the positives into it. But in the cold light of day, it wasn't good enough because we need to beat Benfica at home. We've got now Spartak away, which after watching them against Barcelona, I watched actually their game. Aye, they looked to me better than Benfica. But in saying it's no good enough, are Celtic good enough to beat Benfica? I don't know.
Hey, I'm going to say something. I think Tony Watt should have played.
I would
From the start.
See, to be honest with you, Joe,
I think he would have given trouble.
I wouldn't decry any of Lenny's selections because he put the team out there, which all the players given. I would have went with that team.
Did you think
unhappy.
Did you think me? See, I know. See, new guys. I remember years ago, new guys would say, and I'd be like, well, "This guy's going to be a star," right? And then you get let down. See guys like Miku are getting picked up front straight away. And I'm not saying he did badly. I'm not saying he would. I'm not passing judgment on the player at all. But I'm saying, you've got a guy like Tony Watt on the bench, a guy that's a running machine. He's fast, he's quick, he's got good feet. He's getting the box. By hook or by crook, he's getting the box.
I mean, for me,
why are you playing a new guy in front of him?
For me, I could have started Tony Watt. I think we've all spoken about it. Like, just fling these young boys in.
I would agree.
So I mean, but at the same time, you can see the dilemma for Lennon. Yeah. He's just a young boy. It's a lot of pressure to put on a young boy to lead the line on his own.
And he's got a boy there with no Champions League, but he's played in La Liga, top level, you know, and he knows what the game's about. And you're playing an Iberian team, Harper. You're playing a team for the Iberian Peninsula.
Iberia?
Yeah. And so I've
always hated Iberians.
And George Weah was a great player.
He's got that obviously experience behind him, and he's maybe stick Tony Watt in. I think if we could all get our cards back, we'd probably play Tony Watt for the start.
I don't think Miku did bad. I thought Neil Lennon said as well. I thought he led the line well, and I thought he did, but I mean, I just don't think it was enough.
Nah, and
I think we should have won.
Aye, that's the game at the 6 games you're going to play. That's the one you should have won.
Do you not think so? Looking at the result, right, 0-0. Obviously, Barcelona beat Spartak 3-2. I never seen any of that game, so we'll find out how good Spartak are when we go there next week. But do you not think that this group, especially, and we are 4th seeds in the group, let's not put ourselves on here, right? But take Barcelona out of the equation, right? Celtic, Benfica and Spartak are all capable of taking the points off each other.
I don't think we're a million miles away from Benfica.
You could really get through that group. You could through that group with 7 points. Realistically, every other team could beat each other. I think.
Part of me, you know what's dampening my excitement in this Champions League? The fact that everybody's going, but Barcelona, you can write them off. My bollocks.
I think
they're beatable.
Of course, I mean anybody's beatable on our day at Celtic Park. But let's be honest, man. Where we are now,
if we're being realistic, it's probably at best a point if you can get it.
Yeah.
Out of 2 games.
You'd be delighted with a point that. And that's no decrying Scottish game, that's no playing down Celtic. That's just being realistic. You're talking about one of the best teams in the world. Do you know what I mean? But nothing wrong in saying that.
But back to Joe's point, you're actually looking at they're playing Spartak next week.
Yeah.
I'm wanting Celtic to win.
Well,
you know, and we've been there, we've been in Russia before, we drew with them at Parkhead and beat them penalties. I'm looking for us to win because as the game builds up, I'm totally looking for us to win. And I think we've got there's something inside me that's...
what was that?
It's a bit rotten as well, but there's something inside me that...
So strong.
Neil Lennon... Exactly. That's the second time you say that. Funny thing. There's something inside me.
So strong.
You build your paradise.
I should have had that last night.
It's all I become. But no, definitely, Neil Lennon's got a different animal now, and we've always been slagged for lack of away prowess in European competition, and for myself it's a season European away campaign. I'm going to watch Celtic. The game just get in the way of a good time, because we're an absolute nightmare. But I think we've got something about us now.
Are we going to look back on this team in years to come, because eventually Neil Lennon's going to leave and we're going to end up with some donkey at some point? I think it's maybe one of those teams we look back and go, that was a good time. That was a good team.
I think so, Joe. I think what we're trying to create here with John Park, Neil Lennon, and a few guys on Twitter have actually mentioned the Holy Trinity: Peter Law, Neil Lennon, and John Park. And I
think John Park's have that one.
It's big time for me. The youths that are coming through for Celtic and bringing your young players through, and that gives every Celtic fan the best pleasure you could ever get. It's one of your own that's actually come through to play with them. Mm-hmm. And
that seems to be a fairly stern policy now, it sounds like, though. With Tony Watt, with James Forrest. Who else have we got coming through? Dylan McKeown. I mean, I think that's just a groundswell of what's coming.
And James Forrest now before that.
Do you not think this team right now, the boys that got in, Miku, Lassard, Ambrose, this is when you could really say this is Neil Lennon's team now? Because, I mean, he made all these signings last year, right? But he still had to make that into a team when he put all these boys in at once. Now he's just kind of adjusting the team, if you like, with these signings, and this is actually the team that he wants on the park.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you what, we'll go for Benfica. It was Benfica, right? It was a 0-0. I personally thought we should have had at least one goal in the first half, right? At least the chances.
To be fair, we didn't deserve it, and the draw was a fair result. Right. We didn't deserve a penalty. They should have had a penalty in the first half.
But Benfica, they weren't any great shakes, so their movement wasn't.
They weren't good, but we weren't good either. We were okay. We contained them. We played decent enough, but we didn't cut them open. I thought with one. The only shot goal we had was probably Chris Thomas for the halfway line. So I think draw a line under that, Joe, and a draw was a fair result. Got it, but it was a fair result as far as I'm concerned.
On the Dundee, right? Now we didn't see Dundee because rest in peace, Stream Pro, and that's done irreparable damage.
This could just do a lot of damage to the HomeBoys show.
The end of the show. Stream Pro doesn't get back. Come back, Stream Pro.
So HomeBoys in the future will only be talking with me and Paul are on. We'll talk about the game. Joe and I will have no idea what's ever happening.
He'll be sitting there reading the Sun.
Hey, when you listen back to the shows, you wouldn't think we'd seen half the games anyway.
Joe, you need to rephrase that. You actually said you'd be buying the what?
Oh, I was joking.
That's all right.
See, just somebody
that's for a clause. None of the guys on HomeBoys would ever buy that fucking rag.
I actually don't buy the papers anymore.
See, just if somebody in the chat room, what's the sound like? Can you see this okay? Because obviously we're in a bar here.
Pirates online. So, I hope you'll hear them all.
I don't think we'd be able to hear anybody.
What?
If somebody called, I don't think we'd be able to hear anybody.
What? Would you?
Something inside.
So strong. I know that I can make it.
On it on day. I seen the highlights, right? You were there, obviously?
Yep.
Nah.
Right, so Phil,
no. Talk about Neil Lennon's team, right? And the way he's bowled it. Keep segue.
Okay.
I can get better at this. I think Lassad's the kind of player. Neil Lennon wants a guy with a sharp eye for goal.
Right.
I don't think Gary Hooper has exactly what he wants. I don't think, Tony Watt has that. I think your man Lassad, he may be the guy. He seems to be a quick thinker. I mean, because he gets in the box. Chris Commons linked up well with him really, really easily.
Where was this? The Dundee game?
Dundee game.
I never seen. Honestly, I've not even seen highlights of this.
I've seen the highlights. What do you think? We'll talk about.
Well, you're talking about. He's obviously shoved the words down his throat. If he didn't like him at the Wraith Rovers game when he scored 4, but Gary Hooper to me is, as I say, our 3 best players for me. I would definitely say Wanyama and Gary Hooper are 2 or 3 best players. The third one's into question, but for me, Celtic's best player is Victor Wanyama. And after that is Gary Hooper. And I think Gary Hooper's a top quality finisher.
Oh, do you?
I just think he lacked. I don't know what was the problem earlier on in the season. People are starting to question him and that. It's too lazy, too this, too that. I reckon Gary Hooper to me is a top quality in the box finisher.
Do you think people were questioning him so much because we all know how good he is, and he's not been doing it enough, and that's why you ask the question, what's wrong here? Because he has set the bar high.
Good point, Harper.
Oh, that's a good point.
To me, In my lifetime, I'm 40-year-old, my lifetime going to watch Celtic, people maybe disagree, but to me, our best penalty box striker was George Cadet ever. He's phenomenal. That guy was, once that guy was 1-on-1 with the keeper, you're putting him for a goal.
Yeah.
And I think Gary Hooper, to me, is probably as near as you would get. I love Scott McDonald. I thought Scott McDonald was a great striker for us. I know much maligned by many fans. I thought Scott McDonald was excellent. But one each Arsenal, that's good. There's somebody sitting here who's got £100 in Arsenal to win.
It's not me, by the way, in case my wife's listening.
But,
that was a bit of a bold statement, though, when you think about, like say, Machiavelli, and he who shall not be named.
I made a brave claim to you on WhatsApp.
Morris Johnston was some penalty box
brilliant, man. George Cadet to me was better than them all. Charlie Nicholas, when I started going to watch Celtic in the late 80s and stuff like that, well, I started going to watch Celtic in the bloody 70s. But when I was every week sort of thing, Charlie Nicholas was my hero. Even get my ears pierced, my left ear pierced, and a wee perm at the back and a wee side chest.
That's a long time since you've been a perm.
That's a long time away. But no, Charlie Nick was definitely one of the...
We'll find out about that perm just in a wee
while. We're going to find out that perm in a second.
One of my heroes.
I made a brave claim to him the other night on the text. I says Gary Hooper, and actually I'm going to change what I said. Gary Hooper could wind up being this generation's Brian McClure.
Brian McClure was absolutely, that's one I didn't even mention. He's probably... I'm saying George Cadet. I reckon Brian McClure was better than George Cadet.
Do you not think they were different? I think Brian McClure was more an all-round player.
But I think
Cadet to me was an absolute poacher. Like, Brian McClure was phenomenal, and he proved it at Manchester United and done absolutely amazing in there as well. Brian McClure was his goal scoring record for Celtic was something like, I think he'd played like 90 odd games and scored 90 odd goals. I'm not an aficionado with stats, but it was something along those lines. When you look at his record nowadays, you look back and say, bloody hell, how good was that guy? Yeah. He was brilliant. But Celtic's always been a team that's a plethora of strikers.
Right. I was just going to say
and our game's all about attack, copyright the Quadrophenians. But
Quadrophenians.
Great band, brilliant. But so Celtic's all about attack. It's always about forget the defence. They scored 4, we'll score 5, and I hope that continues.
I think it's going to get to that. I don't know if it's right there right now.
What are we even talking about here?
It's Dundee match. But
I forgot the subject.
Arthur Guinness is taking over. Actually, getting our drink.
Aye.
Where do you order from? I can't move in the middle of these two. Let's get me a drink.
Just keep talking.
Alright, Grant, okay. Somebody can hear the Arsenal game in the background.
It's safe that Joe's not driving home tonight.
No, I ran my wife, so I might stay again tonight.
She's handsome, she's pretty, she's a girl of Belfast City.
She's got awful massive.
Your wife is awesome.
No. Right, I don't know. Don't see. I hate not seeing the match, and it's ruining this show because
that's not just talk.
I know, but I mean, you like to at least have some sort of point of reference. I think Chris Commons has been our best player this year so far.
I would agree, and I picked him for man of the season.
I picked him last year. I says he's the man. He's going to be his year. 1 goal.
Nah, he's been great. He has been great. The two things for me that's come out for this season so far is Chris Commons is potentially our best player.
Yep.
He's phenomenal. And Izagiri is never going to get back to what he was previously.
I don't want to say about never. I'd say he won't. Actually, I think you're right.
Time's running out.
Oh yeah, definitely. The clock's ticking.
He's now just a normal fullback.
2
years ago he was a Scottish Player of the Year. Now he's just a normal fullback.
Do you know what? It's actually going to make a decision for Neil Lennon pretty easy. I think you're going to find Charlie Mulgrew is going to take up, and it's probably his worst position. We've said it before.
I think so.
Charlie Mulgrew is going to find himself left back, and it's going to make a decision easy for Neil Lennon. Because it's a dilemma what you're going to do with Charlie Mulgrew.
But I think it'll get to the stage, I think, where Adam Matthews will be a better left back option than Izagiri. I think we're nearly there already.
Well, you could go there, Matthews left back, Lustig right back. I quite like Lustig. I think he gets that. He's got a bit of a deal at times.
I'm still undecided.
I thought he was excellent against Benfica.
He seems to always pop up in the right place. Can I have a pint of Guinness, please?
Certainly, yes.
Thank you.
2.
What were we saying?
Talk about left backs.
I was just
Matthews,
saying,
Mulgrew, and Lustig. Lustig, I think Lustig. I'm warming to Lustig because he always pops up at the right place at the right time. You're magic. But right, I'm talking about Lustig and
Left backs.
defenders, left backs.
Azagiri.
I don't know. We're never going to see the same as Aguirre again, are we?
I don't think so. time is running.
That's a shame. Like,
So you can only go so long with having a player who's a weak spot in the team like that. And there's got to come a time when you just have to say, look, just stick the guy on the bench. It's not happening. You can't keep going on about his confidence and this and that just forever.
Graham has just said Lustig is patient.
That just proves he's good then. What's he know? Huh? Just you stick to the Phillies.
We've been joined by a loyal listener
A loyal listener.
who's been sitting in the other end of the room for about half an hour. The one and only Mr. John Higgins has joined us. John, how you doing?
How you doing?
Good. You feeling good? What's a pizza?
Yeah, there's some pizza here and some chips.
We're talking about left backs. You joined the conversation in the most exciting part of the podcast. We're talking about defenders.
Right.
I'm saying I wouldn't mind Adam Matthews at left back instead of Aguirre. We don't think Aguirre is going to be the same player ever again.
No. I mean, to be brutally honest, I've obviously not been to a lot of games lately. I still watch them religiously every time they're on the TV, but I don't think Aguirre's been the same player since he had that bad injury, and it doesn't look as if he's got the same confidence now defending or going forward.
Anytime I see him in a tackle, he just looks not scared, but a wee bit apprehensive about what he's going to do. And see when you see that, I think when you see that in a player, I think actually done. Like, is
It's
it?
not even just that, it's his decision making and everything. He's on the ball, his passing's on,
The thing is,
everything's just.
he's
nothing's
out of
wrong.
any breaks we get on the left hand side. He's out of place. He's out of position because he still thinks he's an overlapping defender, right? But he's not coming back.
Right.
To me personally, I reckon we still need to cut the guy some slack. I've got my
You just
worries.
told us he was
I
patient.
know, but I've got my worries about him. But I so much want him to get back to where he was, but
Right.
he isn't doing it. But I still want to cling on to that hope that he'll get back to where he was.
How long
I
do you
know,
keep going?
I know, and that's the point. You're
That's the
right.
thing. I think every football team in the world wants to smash a left back, but it's like hen's teeth. You can't get a good left back. You can't get a good guy with a left foot that can defend. I mean, it's difficult. So, and we had one for a year. We had that guy. He was that guy. He was the left back. I mean, he was your Cafu on the other side.
Right.
But do you not think Mulgrew? I know Mulgrew probably is better in some other positions, but I would probably say he's your best left back.
I think Mulgrew's weakest position, but at the minute he's probably the best option for left back, and it's what's going to keep Mulgrew in the team. Because when you think they've signed Ambrose and they've got Wilson and they've got Romney all centre half, Mulgrew is going to have to play left back to get in the team, to be honest. Because I can't see him going into centre half now. We've got Ambrose. I can't see him fitting into midfield because we've spoken about this loads of times, Jason. You'd have to drop Commons.
I know.
It's
I know,
not going to happen.
I don't think you get as much out of Charlie Mulgrew in defence now.
But it's
I
just
think
to
he's got
get
so
him
much
in.
more to offer.
He's so important to the team. He's got to win the team.
I don't think he's a good defender, but I think he's a great football player.
Aye. You're right. We're all admiring Sam's top here. Is it out? I didn't think it was out.
I don't know, John, but he bought it at Glasgow Airport yesterday in the way there.
I didn't even know it was a year.
It's in the Celtic shop there. By the way, Celtic has got a shop in Glasgow Airport. Sevco don't.
Sevco dude, it's a 150 shop.
Boots the chemist.
Look at Boots the monkey. Right, so passed on Dave, we're on to what? Wraith Rovers. I didn't see Wraith Rovers today.
Is that Dora Explorer?
Oh, you know, that's me. How do you think you know Dora Explorer?
I'm just 11 months unemployed, man. The shit that you get in, not like.
Wraith Rovers.
I didn't see it. Did anybody?
Gary Hooper. Basically, all that game will remind me of is giving a wee mention to Turbo Hutton, who was fantastic throughout the full Sevco scenario.
He was the only voice you'd hear.
He was a great voice as well. And with a name like that, you wouldn't have to play as one.
Turnbull Hutton.
But
And if you're a cop,
Chief Inspector
Turbo Hutton.
Definitely, you're walking up to court and he's the guy that's trying to put you down.
He's got a gun.
But you're Gary Hooper to me. That's what we needed. He was getting a bit maligned the last few weeks.
Right,
People. That's it. Thank you.
Is that his season started now?
Yes, and I'd say Gary Hooper is, as I've always said, top quality striker, and hopefully, I mean, for the benefit of Celtic as well, next year, I know there was in the mainstream media they were talking about his inclusion in the England squad and stuff like that. And one of your John sitting next to one of his pals, Mr. Mark Media, said that there's 20 strikers in front of Gary Hooper for an England call-up, and a few Celtic fans were cracking up.
I couldn't name you 20 English strikers.
No, but to be fair to him, he named 16. But what I would say there is, I get where he's coming from, because if you play with Celtic, you're not going to get an England call-up. Simple as that.
Well, see,
That's a stigma.
Personally, I think obviously you can back the likes of Sutton and Thompson. And I was reading Paul Merson's autobiography a little while ago, and he went to Aston Villa and Thompson was there, and he didn't rate Thompson as a player, which I could not understand. I thought he was a great. I thought obviously he wasn't going to be England regular. And then off the point here, I think obviously the likes of Thompson and Sutton had a chance to play with England. England did have a great team. I don't think they've got a great squad now, especially up front, which I think obviously if you think Hooper could get in the likes of Shearer, Cole, Fowler, now Sher, no chance. But with the strikers we've got now,
Andy Carroll?
England, you've got Andy Carroll, you've got who else? You've got Dan Ben, who's always injured. I mean, who you've got Jermaine Defoe.
Look at the stats, mate.
Wait a minute, listen.
Gary Hooper scored more goals in the Championship than Andy Carroll did.
Aye, and Andy Carroll went for 35 million. He went.
Doesn't matter.
Of course it matters.
Andy Carroll's price tag is only because what Liverpool were willing to pay for him. Everybody knows it.
I don't really work out long to give you.
If we're talking about Gary Hooper last week, we want him dropped to buck up his ideas, and then he scores 4 goals against Rave, and we want him in the England team. But it's no he's not there yet.
But Harper, to be honest, I've never wavered from my opinion that our best players are Victor Wanyama and Gary Hooper.
Yep.
Gary Hooper to me is a top quality striker, and if I was an English football team, say like Southampton went for 6 million, I'd have pushed the boat out for them 10 million or whatever, we'd have sold.
Right.
I think when you look at guys like Fletcher, Stephen Fletcher, obviously he should be playing with Scotland, but I mean at the end of the day, if he's going for 14 million, I mean Hooper's. I
can at least pick up 20 grand. Like.
I would basically say
we all know it's Scottish football, it's a stigma, and they don't rate
That's the thing, but see if you're an English player, right, and you're saying for Celtic, is your carrot the Champions League? Because you know your international career is on hold. You're in Scotland. Unless you're fucking doing dynamite things every single week.
I think, to be honest with you, Joe, none of that comes into play now. It's all just about the bucks in your wage packet. I think it's football players.
Right, let's go on that then. About new contract for players. I think that's a fantastic thing.
Football players nowadays, they don't. I'll tell you a wee interesting story. I work with a girl, and she's from just outside Liverpool, and her 2 twin sons play with Everton kids. They're 13-year-old, and they had a day out with the first team squad.
Hope this is interesting. The whole pub's listening.
Yeah, they had a day out with the first team squad, and they met Jack Rodwell. And Jack Rodwell's lasting words to them were, "Well, you want to be a football player because see the amount of birds you get. It's amazing." And that she was disgusted when she heard that and came back and told her. And that's what he said to her. You want to be a football player in the Premier League because you get loads of birds. But see, when I was a kid,
how old is he?
Jack Rodwell, he's early 20s.
There you go. Well, again.
But
it's no reason to get into football.
But my full life was about scoring a goal and running up to the jungle, and scoring a goal against Rangers, running up to the jungle and celebrating the Celtic player, winning the Scottish Cup. It was like being a successful Celtic player, winning championships. Now the emphasis is on getting birds and earning loads of dough.
I don't think you can stigmatise the
No, but I think that's a generalisation. But
I had dreams of football too, and then I found women. So
if you look at
It's more a rock and roll lifestyle now than it is.
if you look at the English Premiership, they want to get the top 4 rather than win the League Cup.
The top 4 in England is almost its own league now.
But they don't want to win a cup.
The top 4, it's a rotating bottom 2.
Yeah.
That's just fucking ridiculous.
But the full thing's ridiculous.
There's no reason to watch that. It's not competitive.
Do you not think that was a great thing that Niku said when he signed for us? He had a chance to go to Swansea and Reading, and he says, "Look, I could go to an English team in the Premiership. It's just a middle of the road team, but I want to come to Celtic where I've got to win every single game, win every week, play in the Champions League." And that's what it comes down to for us now. Champions League is our big carrot, and we should be there every year now for X amount of years.
I would agree with you there, but now I think obviously with Sevco and over there that I don't think Celtic need to win every week. And that's how I just think watching the games and I've had
The fans demand it.
I know, but I've had this discussion with Jason as well. I think I said to Jason that I don't think Celtic will win the league this year with as many points as people think.
I agree with that.
Because just the simple fact is, if Celtic are playing on Saturday at 12:45 kick-off or 12:15, Rangers were playing the next day, if they were 2 each with 10 minutes to go, they'd be busting their backsides to get that winner. But now they can think to themselves, whether they like it or not, and being a sportsman myself, you can turn around and say you've got the inner belief and you've got the drive to do it. Sometimes you just mentally switch off if you're playing somebody inferior to you and you think, I'm still going to win this match here, and it doesn't happen for you. And that's what I think is going to happen with Celtic this year.
It's a subconscious thing, but you don't actually mean it, but it's a subconscious thing.
There's going to be Celtic players.
It just happens.
And is that what we've seen already this season in the Premier League?
I definitely think it is. I think that's a product of that now that we said we're over there. That's just that when they do get back in, maybe 4 or 5 year time probably, that obviously that's when it's good. That's when it'll kick in again. That they've got to win every week. Whereas now, I don't think they've got to win every week, and they still will win the league. But I think a lot of the players will just sometimes just mentally switch off and so there will be some games where they'll draw or they might maybe lose the odd game, but they'll still win the league, no doubt about that.
They're not in a race anymore.
Of course they're not, which is great in a way, because just you were saying there earlier on that we should be the champions. Well, not group stages, but we could have a qualifying game to get into the group stages, which is great and badly needed now revenue, but I think it could be quite hard for the fans now seeing that now level of performance that they don't need to win every week, and I think maybe some of the fans will get used to that as well, that not draw here and there, because it's not really going to make any difference.
I'm hoping the fact that we're in the Champions League, we've got in the players there in the transfer window, right? We'll kick on for them, we'll win the league, we will win the league, right? We'll go to the Champions League next year and we'll build on that again. With the money we'll bring in more better players, and hopefully the product on the park then, because we'll have better players every season on season, I hope, and that maybe be enough then to create that excitement that we're maybe missing.
We spoke about this before the season started. I thought this season would be the season when Scottish football became reinvigorated, when competitiveness became the thing you wanted to grasp hold of, rather than just beating Rangers, and I'm kind of trying to stick with it.
I think it actually has been.
But
to be honest with you, I think it has been. We're actually now painting a bleak picture here, but the media in Scotland would have you believe that Scottish football's dying. If you put Sevco back in it, it's not going to actually reinvigorate the league. It's going to make it a 2-team league again. Yeah. But as it stands at the minute, we are sitting at 4th, 5th in the league. We don't get given the league. We need to play, we need to earn it, we need to actually win the league. We are not going to be winning the league by 30 points, no matter what folk thought at the start of the season.
We're looking at this from our standpoint, right, which is only showing time, right? Now imagine any sportsman, I don't know, if you're the biggest duck in the water, you know, we're not looking from the other perspective of lesser teams, lesser players. We don't know how they're thinking, we're just thinking that way. I'm sure Celtic players don't know how they're thinking either, because you gotta think to yourself, if there's only one big team to beat, the rest of your season, the whole year season is just building up to beat that one team. Before that, now there was 2 teams, I'm talking shit.
I was just thinking exactly that. He's slaving a bit.
I know roughly what you're trying to get, Joe, because that is their main game, and that is what they're going to be judged on. That is probably some of these players that are looking for a lucrative move, whether it is to maybe like Celtic or maybe a championship team down in England or what. That's the games that's going to be shown live, and that's the games that they're hopefully going to be showing their quality. But it's one of the ones. Celtics they've put up there over the years. Obviously, they're the best team. They want to beat them, but it's one of the things that's it's going to be harder for them. Just as I say, that's what I personally think, that mentally, subconsciously, that some of the players will be switching off because they probably know come the end of the year they will be the champions, no doubt about that. But
so that's up to Neil Lennon then.
Right here, that's a brilliant point for a segue.
But we keep saying no doubt about that, and as it stands, we're sitting fifth in the league. So what I want to put out there, I say Motherwell actually beat every team in the league apart from Celtic, home and away.
They'll win the league.
But they'll know.
They will.
Other teams on there, they've not got the consistency. They all beat each other. We know that. That's been proven over the years.
Right.
We have the best players. We have the best team.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
And we've all won
I would agree with you. But at the end of the day, you don't get given the league. You need to win
No,
it.
definitely. Oh, you're 100%. Aye.
but that's, as you say, that's when Neil Lennon
That's
earned his
Neil Lennon,
spot.
aye.
Aye.
Right.
Having Big Alvin, that's when the manager. And I'll put it this way: Lennon, I would imagine, is going to be. He'll be under more pressure now this year than he has been even last year, his first year as a manager.
This league.
Because he's thinking to
Imagine, for instance, you were a Celtic manager, they weren't in the league, you didn't win the league. I mean, how much pressure is he under?
You'd have a star next to your name.
Aye, big time. I'm sure he'll pull us through. No, without a doubt. I've got
Let's move on to Motherwell then, right? Motherwell today, beat them, top of the league.
a tough game. They won't be the same Motherwell.
I have to say though,
it's always a hard game.
The big talking point has been the fact that it's a 3 o'clock away kickoff.
I was at the last
time
one,
in 7 years.
Livingston, 7 years ago. I was there. Livingston. Unfortunately, I'm not there today. I'm stuck with used clowns in
I was there and all. I was actually sitting behind Dominic Diamond.
Aye.
That game,
Games master.
Aye, Games Master.
I love him.
I like him too.
He's a top guy.
I like the fact that he always turns around and says, I used to be an arsehole. As often as he can. I go, that's good.
John, any wee stories you like to tell us about Dominic?
No.
First one again?
Anything you want to tell us about Jason's perm?
They've already had a perm.
He's a lovely
He must have been 6 months old.
He was actually better looking than Charlie Nicholas now when he was younger, honestly.
That's like he said, he modelled himself.
He had a mod, did he? This is the front, party at the back.
Trendy dude.
Him and Mo Johnson, that was
the Liverpool
his
connection. I used to get into Everton all the time when I was 16, run the fashion back up.
I love the mod. This is the front, party at the back.
He's a wee exclusive with Dominic.
Oh, nothing of the thought. No, yeah.
Lovely guy, but
Lovely guy, but I can just remember me and one of my big mates. I was down in London, I think, filming Big Break, I think it was, and managed to meet up with Dominic in Camden one night, and with a few beverages, and I didn't realise that.
Mind this is live, we can't edit anything out.
No, what I'm saying is I didn't realise that he was like cat and a hot tin roof, and then the next minute he was away and blah blah blah, and then it later came out that he was struggling with the drink and the drugs. I think it was roughly at that time when he was in London, and but he was a lovely fella. He was a great guy, and then I met him again when he came up to Glasgow one day. Had a few drinks that one, but big Celtic fan, which is great.
I sent him a wee message a few years ago. He's got his own website and whatever. He lives in Canada now.
He was on the Celtic Underground podcast a couple of years ago.
Yeah. And I sent him a wee message and he got back to me, and lovely fella. Big Celtic fan, but I bought his book and read it. Very, very interesting stuff. He didn't grow up as a Celtic fan, but he became a Celtic fan. And he's rabid now, he's like the same as us guys.
That's one of the beauties though, isn't it now? I've got a friend of mine, right, and he doesn't like football. So every week I send him...
Dead Poets Society. John, just put you in the picture, Joe hangs with poets. His mates are poets and writers and all that kind of thing. Arty-farty.
You don't get the kind of bleak talent that I displayed last night.
Well, I mean the talents on that guitar, Joe, last night, they'll live with me to my dying day. They'll kill you. You were superb, so you were on that guitar.
And can we just say, we were at a wee night last night in the Roddy McCauley's club, and John's sporting a bracelet for the Oscar Knox appeal.
Yes, it was a big fundraising last night.
A lot of money was raised for young Oscar.
We get silver.
As well again.
We get silver.
Yeah. We'll invite one of the guys over there now. He's actually sitting in Blotto with
Sam,
the new Celtic away strip.
Come over. Here we have.
Come here and tell us about your new jersey. Oh, it's even in the catwalk. What? Did you see that?
Casually stroll in.
This is radio.
Sammy Boyle that's sporting the 125th anniversary Celtic shirt.
We have to say in the flesh.
I have to say
Sam's a sexy man.
very impressive, and the jersey's quite nice as well.
Sam organised a night last night in the Roddy McCauley's club in West Belfast, and Sam would be a Celtic-minded type of guy, but he's not the biggest Celtic fan in the world.
Definitely.
But his height, you mean, like
being a bit inadequate here, you know what I mean?
But as I say, he's sporting the shirt, and what we're trying to get here is last night raised a few quid for the Oscar Knox appeal as well. But Sam, tell us about last night. What last night was all about. You get John over to West Belfast to do a wee snooker night, and tell the guys what it's all about.
Usually we try and do about one a year. John comes over. An exhibition. Most of the times we try and raise a few quid towards a charity or something that happens to be in the news at the time, you know. So, and the Oscar Knox appeal was there last night, and we've raffled off a signed cue from John and that, and raised a few quid. And John's very generously donated a couple of £100 there as well towards it. So, great night had by all. Fantastic snooker. And a few quid raised for a very, very worthy cause. So everyone, great night, everyone happy, everyone enjoyed themselves.
Really great time. Great time.
And I think everyone was happy enough, yeah.
Apart from the singing.
Apart from the singing later on that night, you know.
It's going to haunt me forever now, isn't it? I should have sang Wonderwall.
We're handing you a blank CD just to go home. Like that guy in New York, you know. There's the door. Let's go.
So as it stands,
I left early.
As it stands now, it's 5 minutes to 2 o'clock. I was waiting on Aidzo Digney coming in for there and go grab us, but he's not appeared yet. And we need to get somewhere to watch the hoops game.
We'll have to get wrapped up and get moving.
Yeah, well, we're on 48 minutes now, so
we're out the Felons Club is going to have it on. But if any of the listeners have got any other ideas,
if anybody's in West Belfast that knows where you can watch the game,
we're in the Hunting Lodge. Let us know.
We're in the Hunting Lodge. Let us know. Come and get us. If you drive a taxi.
If you've got a dodgy box in your house you want to invite us, there's only 25 ways, so we'll be alright. We'll bring a carry out. See
if you're a Polish immigrant, one of them big dishes inside of your house. We're coming to your gap.
Snap a beer.
We'll bring some sausage.
And haggis.
We've got sausage and haggis here.
It works.
That's right, so predictions then for today. We'll give Sam the first year. Predictions today, Motherwell, top of the league.
2-0 for Celtic.
Jason?
I'll go with 2-0.
John?
I'll go 3-1.
Harper?
2-1.
I go 1-0.
1-0.
Gary Hooper. 22nd minute.
What's the weather like?
What's the weather like?
Nailed on there.
What's the weather going to be?
Your options open.
The sailing's rough. That's us done, isn't it?
Well, I've got to say thanks for inviting me on the show now. As I said,
you came all this way, John.
I'm an avid listener. I've only been listening to
You're an avid fan.
40 years, and I love listening to one.
You wouldn't even listen to this one.
It's nice to meet you guys in the flesh, and all the best for the future podcast.
Did you hear the podcast where Jason got skewered? Said Neil Lennon played the 6-2 game.
No, it wasn't a display, it was his defining moment.
Last
night.
Or the time he was bossing Barry Ferguson about that part, was it?
I didn't even spot it.
Yeah, listen.
But all the best, boys.
That's it. That's
Monday, will it?
That's a Hangover Boys live from the Hunting Lodge. West Belfast. We'll be back on Monday.
Monday,
hope you enjoyed this wee snippet of West Belfast living.
Sam,
say goodbye, mate.
Yep, loving life.
Jason, next boys tomorrow.
Next boys tomorrow will be on.
Right, last of the season.
Harry Dickey.
Nobody gives a fuck about baseball.
Yeah.
Alright, and by the way, buy my song on iTunes. It's raising money for Your Kill Sick Kids. We're going to play it now as we play it as usual. And I tell you, it's right there, look. And hope you enjoyed this. Thank you. Hail, hail.
On a cold grey morning, on a Glasgow street, a young boy in torn clothing has a ball at his feet. He shouts, "Daddy, I'll play for Celtic, I'm gonna be a superstar." He says, "Go out there and get it, son, show the jungle who you are." "Daddy, I'll be a striker, I'll be deadly round the box. I'll win the treble, conquer Europe, and score the winner at Ibrox." He was a boy, and he'd always wanted to be a boy. He was a boy, and he'd always wanted to be a boy. He goes pushing through the turnstiles with the old man by his side. He hears stories of Brother Walford and the day John Thompson died, of Tully and of Johnson and of Caesar and Jock Stein. And being captain in the huddle would always be his childhood dream. But time had moved so quickly and his dreams are way back when. And the old man's seat sits empty. They say he died stop in the 10. He was a boy, and he'd always wanted to be a boy. He was a boy, and he'd always wanted to be a boy. Now his own son stands beside him, and among the sea of green, he shows promise with the football, and he grows to live the dream. Come his granddad's anniversary, he's Captain Derby Day. He issues orders to the huddle, wearing the number of McStay. The crowd, they roar around him as the ball comes to his feet. He drops his shoulder like McCourt, and only the keeper now to beat. Runs to the old jungle, his finger pointed to the skies. He pumps his fist towards an old man, and there's tears in both their eyes. Now he's a boy, 'cause he'd always wanted to be a boy. He was a boy, he always wanted to be a boy. Like Tommy Burns in the big road, he only wanted to be a boy.